blah. Morning. It's Monday, July 26th. And this morning I want to talk about how we are getting ripped off as citizens. And this is about a traffic citation that I got for running a red light at Jericho Turnpike and Haunted Road. And I have to tell you that I am guilty. I did run that red light. I was in the long line of cars in the left lane and we started to make the turn and I got hung up right near the corner, so I just continued on. Now, I don't know if you remember this story, but last year I also got fined for a red light violation. But that time I was innocent because it wasn't my car, and the person who processed the claim, or the computer that processed the claim, couldn't really read the license plate, but it was close to my plate number, so they sent it to me. And I, in turn, took a picture of my car and my license plate, and I sent that back to them with my appeal, and I never paid that fine. They said, "You're right," and I was free. But this time, they got me, and I am guilty. I plead guilty. But here's what pisses me off. The fine is $50 for going through the red light. Okay, but I have to pay them $80 because they have a $30 administrative fee that they attach to this fine. Now, why would there be a $30 administration fee? Is that to pay the salaries of all the people who work on these claims? I don't know, but it's worth looking into. Why is it $30? Why isn't it just $15 or $18 or $21? Why isn't it an hourly rate? Why isn't it like $20 or $30 an hour that you pay this person and she spends 15 minutes? So I take that percentage of the fine. So 15 minutes, that's 25% of an hour. You're making $30 an hour. I don't have to pay an additional $7.50. That's what makes sense to me. But okay, they get a $30 administrative fee. But then here's the rest of the kicker. If you make an online payment, which means you got to use a credit card. Now I know when you use a credit card for any kind of transaction, the company that owns the credit card, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amazon, they have a fee for you using the card. And that fee is anywhere from 1 to 4% of the purchase price. So I know from my experience in working at American Express, we were one of the highest. We were 4%, but Visa and MasterCard killed that business, so we had to lower the fee to like 1.5% or something. Okay, so there's a $5 flat fee, so it's not even based upon the percentage of the claim. It's a $5 flat fee for using the card. And then if the fine is over $230, they add an additional 3.5% to this fee. Now, if you want to pay by phone, the same rules apply. Online, on the phone, it's the same thing. It's a credit card transaction, right? Now, here's the other kicker. If you want to pay by mail and you write a check, I mean, you can't pay by mail. Well, you could pay by mail, you use your credit card on the slip. But if you want to write a check, you want to pay this fine by check, okay? So, if you pay it by check, then they get you a different way. Not only do they get you a different way, but you have to write a lot of information on the check. The citation number, and several other factors, all right? And they tell you, do not send cash. Cash is evil. I don't know how many people in the world even use cash anymore. You got to be a pretty poor person to use cash, because most people have a checking account or some credit card or something. And I'll tell you something, if you watch the people in this world walking around, they got their phone. There's nothing in this thing that says you can pay by phone, by mobile phone or something. Because maybe they can't make enough money off you if you pay by mobile phone. But in any event, if you should choose by mail and you should send in a check, then there's an additional $20 fee for returning the check. Now, isn't that ridiculous? Why are they getting a fee to return the check? I would imagine it's like any other business. You get checks in the mail. And I used to process a lot of orders, mail orders. You got a check in the mail, you take it, and you bundle it up with 100 other checks, and you add up the number, right? You add up the number of the deposit because you're making a deposit, right? And then you deposit it in the bank. You, the guy who got the check, are not responsible for returning the check. What you're doing is putting in the bank as part of a deposit. So don't you think that this is ridiculous? You write a check. What? I'm paying an administrative fee of $30. And now I got to pay another $20 because I wrote a check. So the bottom line is I'm going over to Motor Vehicle Bureau and I am going to pay this thing by cash. And I'm going to stand there and watch them count the cash. And I'm going to break the guy's balls because I'm going to ask them about why they're getting all these ridiculous fees and everything. Because I think it's bad enough that we're paying $30 administrative fee on top of the $50. It's like we are paying the salaries for these people who work in the motor vehicle department. And they don't all process checks or payments. I don't know what else the Motor Vehicle Bureau does. They notify you when your license plate is ready to be renewed, right? And maybe they're involved when you get real traffic violations or you're speeding or something like that. That's an entirely different thing. All those red light fees go for the equipment and everything that they got to use to put up the red lights. And I can understand that. But I will bet you if they were running this like any other business, they would be depreciating the value of the parking light system like every corporation in the world does. They depreciate their equipment and they get a tax break. And I am wondering if the Department of Motor Vehicles is paying taxes to the federal government on all these fees that they're collecting. How about that? I bet you they're not paying any taxes on this additional money. It's something that should be looked into. Motor Vehicle Bureau is ripping off the federal tax system. How about that? You think we could organize a riot standing in front of the Motor Vehicle Department in Hauppauge? Motorists' lives matter. How about that? Well, I got to go shopping now. So I'll see you in the morning. Have a great day. Bye.